to the Near Dark Podcast, episode 7. Today we're gonna talk about Day of the Dead Bloodlines. But before we do that, let's welcome the zombie crew. Would you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tagger. I sleep a lot.
I'm Josef.
And I'm Angels.
Okay, how is everybody doing?
Tagger.
What?
He's still. I think he's still sleeping.
Sounds like
What am I supposed to be doing? I introduced myself.
How are you doing, Tagger?
I'm alright. Just woke up. I'm a little groggy, but I'm good nonetheless. How are you?
I'm doing well. Never better. What about Joseph? How is he doing?
I'm old.
Oh no, you have to ask him.
Huh? Oh,
I said I don't.
Shut up. I'm old and I'm tired. How are you doing, Angel?
Decently, actually, very decently. Not too bad.
For once.
Shut up, asshole.
This really is the Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We even have a zombie with us.
Yeah, the real zombie crew. So, have you been able to see any movies recently?
Oh yes. You want me to start or?
Yeah, start.
Okay.
Tell us.
I've basically seen a shit ton of movies since we last recorded, but I've picked out a couple of them to talk about. First off, I watched Burial Ground, aka The Zombie Dead, aka Nights of Terror from 1981. It's about a professor who discovers a secret in an ancient stone, and when he opens an ancient crypt, he revives the corpses in the crypt, which kills him off, and that's just the two first minutes of the movie. And he had invited 3 couples to visit him in his manor to reveal his discovery, and soon they are under siege by the hordes of the undead. This movie is complete trash, but it's a lot of fun. Have any of you guys seen it?
No, I haven't.
Not even heard of it.
I don't think I've seen it either.
Okay. Well, I will pick it for the podcast later down the line. I actually think you guys would like it, just because of how trashy it is. The next movie were Torso from 1973. It's a Sergio Martino. I don't know if I pronounced his name right, but it's a giallo from 1973. And it's about a killer who stalks and strangles women at an Italian university. And to get away from it all, four female students venture to a villa out on the countryside. But the killer has decided to follow them. From what I've heard, a lot of giallo fans love this movie, and personally, I don't like giallos that much, but this one tickle me pretty good because it's more of a slasher movie than a giallo.
I didn't know you enjoyed tickling.
Shot it, you. Anyway, I will probably pick this one as well later down the line. The next movie were The New York Ripper from 1982 by Lucio Fulci. It's a giallo slasher hybrid. It's about a maniac who randomly stalks and kills various young women in New York. And when he calls the police, he talks like Donald Duck. Have any of you guys seen this one? I think you've seen it, Angel.
What movie?
The New York Ripper.
Yeah, I tried watching it, but the voice put me off to the movie. I might try watching it again. I might, because it's supposed to be a good movie, but back then it really didn't work for me.
It's extremely sleazy. A lot of boobies and...
Ah, that's why you watched it!
Yes, of course. And there's a lot of, well, female skin, so to speak.
Lots of nudity.
Yeah, exactly. I will pick this one as well later down the line. And then I watched a South African and it was a co-production between South Africa and the Netherlands from 1979 called The Demon. And I didn't really understand what the movie was about more than that there was a killer who just picked his targets random on the street, and he had chosen to target a kindergarten teacher. The plot in the movie didn't make any sense whatsoever, and about halfway through they dropped one of the subplots and never talked about it again. So I was like, huh? When I watched it, and yeah, I don't think I'll rewatch that anytime soon. I guess none of you have seen that.
No.
Alright. And the last movie I've seen is Blood Tracks from 1985, which is, well, from what I could find on the internet, it's produced by someone in England, but it's shot in Funäsdalen in Sweden by Mats Helge Olsson. So it's a Swedish movie produced by someone in England. Anyway, it's about a film crew producing a rock music video who decides to shoot at an abandoned factory above the snow line up in the mountains. And when an avalanche strands them, a murderous family living in the factory starts to kill them off one by one. This movie was awesome. It's just plain ludicrous and so goddamn stupid. Well,
Well, when you started talking about a family that starts to murder them, then that actually grabbed my interest.
well, it is a slasher movie, but I know that Mats Helge Olsson were one of the writers of the movie, and I'm pretty sure that he got inspiration from Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. because there are some similarities between the movies. Even excuse me. Even though Blood Tracks is a hell of a lot trashier than The Hills Have Eyes, and it's more incompetently made than The Hills Have Eyes. But it's a really fun and brain dead slasher movie, and I'm pretty sure I will pick it for the podcast later down the line as well. And that was the last movie I got to talk about right now. Angel, do you have you seen anything?
Well, I watched 600 movies for 6 months, so I'm kind of off put to watch movies overall. So I've started watching TV series instead, trying to catch up to The Walking Dead again after leaving it for like 2 years.
Oh boy.
Surprisingly, it's good again. Watch some other TV series. And these past 2 days, well, I watched The Bloodline. I watched Unfriended because Zombie hasn't watched it, and it's not as good as it was the first time I watched it, sadly.
I love Unfriended.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've watched it like 4 times now, and it's not as good anymore. I'm still, every time I watch it, I root for Ken, but then I get sad because he dies.
Spoilers.
I gotta ask, are you looking forward to the sequel, Unfriended Dark Note?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I looked it up.
Or was it called Dark Web?
Dark Web, yeah.
Oh,
Unfriended
yeah.
Dark Web.
Okay.
I looked up Unfriended on IMDb because I recognized an actor, the boyfriend in the movie. I thought he was the guy from Grave Encounters, the second one, the vlogger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but surprise, it was not him.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I double checked. It was not him. It was a totally different guy.
What the hell? Oh, hold on. I gotta check this out. Continue.
Then we watched Good Night Mommy yesterday, or last night. It's about the twin boys who lives in this house very far outside of the village with a TV star mother. She's like a hostess or something, and she gets plastic surgery for her face. And one of the boys starts telling the other one, "It's not our mommy." And well, he starts believing this, and as the movie progresses, it's very, very, very slow. The most action happens the last 20 minutes, pretty much like every slow movie ever made.
So it's a real slow burn, then.
Yeah, it's... Oh, if I remember right, it's French or from Belgium, something like that. And the end plot, that was so good. I didn't see it coming at all. I think Zombie actually figured it out before me, but he didn't say anything. But we trash talked the whole movie, really. I was looking like at the movies I've been planning to watch, because he needs to watch more horror movies. And we were gonna go for Lawnmower Man, but decided to go for Pet from 2016 instead. About a guy who works in a dog pound, and he sees this girl that he has gone to school with. He was a year over her in class, or how to say that. And he well, he starts liking her right away. Like he had this crush on her. So he starts stalking her on social media, and that was the most fake Facebook page I've ever seen. It's like, you understand that this is supposed to look like Facebook, but it has some different name and whatever. And he stalks her and gets her journal, and she says, "Well, I'm a writer." She's not. She's really not. And he reads that, and for about well, most of the movie, you think he's the psychopath, but the plot twist is she's something way worse.
Okay.
He kidnaps her and locks her in a cage like a dog. Well, he keeps on saying it's for your good. So, but as I said, the plot twist is really good. I didn't see it coming at all. I recommend watching it. Actually, I was trying to look up a different movie, and Pet came up, and I'm like, oh, this movie looks interesting. And then I realized I've been thinking about watching this movie for the past 2 years. Because it came up in a Facebook group about horror movies. I'm like, right. Besides that, I haven't watched any other movie really. Because, yeah, I'm dedicating myself to series now. How about you, Tiger?
The only movie I've actually seen recently was The New Daughter with Kevin Costner, and I think that came out in 26. Oh wait, no, 2009. It the plot of the story is basically this novelist father and his two kids move into a country house, and that's basically been built on top of
A barrel of ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of burial ground. It doesn't specify, but I would believe it's an Indian burial ground. And
It usually is.
Yeah, exactly.
basically his daughter like ends up playing in the burial ground on like a mound that's in their backyard, and ends up being not so much possessed. Well, yeah, pretty much possessed by a Indian child or something for like some type of Indian mating ritual. And overall, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you like subpar plots. But that it was okay. I wouldn't recommend it. And then there was
Hello?
Hello?
I think it had a tiny stroke.
Tiger, are you still here? Come to the light. Go to the light.
No,
We
you're
are
not
experiencing
supposed to go
technical
to the light.
difficulties.
That means you go to the light to die. Go away from the light.
Haven't you seen Poltergeist?
Oh yeah,
Caroline-
yeah. No, I have.
Caroline, go to the light. Whatever they say.
Yeah. Watched all the Poltergeist movies. We watched them together.
Tiger?
He's gone.
Dead.
I think his mic died or something. Okay, well. Ogge, have you seen anything? note.
Yeah, I actually watched the remake of Ghost in a Shell.
Oh,
And
the 2017 Scarlett Johansson movie.
Yeah,
I've seen that one as well.
yeah, that movie looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like action, I just gotta recommend it.
Yeah, well, the plot in that movie is pretty cookie cutter, but the visuals are really nice in it, and it's pretty action packed.
Yeah, it's worth watching alone for the just for the visuals.
Yeah.
I also started watching a TV series called Happy.
Oh, I know
And
what
it's
that is.
Yeah, it's the weirdest show I've ever seen, but it's hilarious.
I've never seen it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, I've only watched a few episodes, but it's insane. It's basically of some sort of he's some sort of alcoholic hitman, I guess, sort of freelance.
Okay.
And yeah, and he's kind of like he's gonna have to save a girl that's apparently it's his daughter, but he doesn't believe it himself. And her daughter has some sort of like a cartooned magical hippo that that she basically sends him for help.
Is it a unicorn?
Yeah, unicorn.
Yeah.
That looks like a hippo or something.
Okay, so the question is,
She's
No,
she's actually abducted by Santa Claus.
What?
Or someone dressed like Santa Claus. And he's also apparently a meth dealer,
okay,
or
here
he
comes the
manufactures
question.
meth. Yeah.
What drugs did they smoke while making this shit?
Judging by the first scene, I'm pretty sure they did a lot of acid.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure.
I need this series in my life now.
Say,
Yeah. Like basically, the scene starts out with him. He's at the pub, drunk, looking himself in the mirror, and you can see he wants to do suicide. So he shoots himself in the mouth, and you actually see like he blows out his brains from the head, but the blood is not really blood. It's like colors that are like flying all over the room. And then he starts dancing, and like other people starts to join in. And they're dancing while that blood color starts pouring out of his head. And then he just wakes back up. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I gotta watch this now.
Yeah, dude.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
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 Welcome back, Tiger.
Thanks. I don't know what the fuck happened. I started doing that shit yesterday.
Oh.
But I don't know where you guys stopped hearing me, but I've seen 3 movies recently. It was The New Daughter with Kevin Costner from 2009. It was an Indian burial ground movie where a novelist and his 2 kids moving to a countryside on top of an Indian burial ground. His daughter gets possessed, and for an Indian mating ritual. I wouldn't recommend it. Then there was Home Movies, which was also, I think, 2008. Could have sworn. Yeah, 2008. Basically, it's the descent of the kids of a pastor and a psychologist descending into insanity. And I really liked it. I definitely recommend that one. And then the last one was How to Become a Serial Killer. I forgot the name of the main cast, but basically the serial killer takes a sales clerk from an old movie show into under his wing, and basically teaches him the ways of how to be a serial killer and how to get away with basically murder.
I think I watched that too, actually. It plays out in winter, right?
What? How to Become a Serial Killer?
Yeah, snow and whatever.
No, this one takes place in like spring/summer.
Yeah, whatever.
But I really liked it. That's another I'd recommend.
You're drunk, Angel. Go home.
No! I've just been drinking soda and like shit tons of water today, but okay, here it goes. I'm gonna start drinking alcohol.
Oh God. I don't know. I've never experienced Drunk Angel before, so I don't know.
Oh,
what
trust
to
me,
expect.
Drunk Angel is fun.
It's gonna
Until
be
she
say
weeps in
that.
a corner.
Oh God. Go help your sister, Josef.
Psh, that one helping me? Yeah, right.
Take away her alcohol privileges.
That would be oh, what's it called? Putting, fuck is it called? Whatever it's called. But fuck no, because I can still get a hold of alcohol even if I'm underage.
Prohibition? Is that what they're
Yeah,
you're
something
looking
like
for?
that.
Underage my ass.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. We're supposed to play the trailer soon, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna finish talking about recently seen, and then there's a trailer.
I think we did.
Yeah, that was my last movie from my recently seen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Disgusting.
Beautiful.
Disgusting. Thank you, Ogge. See, someone appreciates me.
I don't. And on that bombshell, let's take a look at the trailer for Day of the Dead Bloodline.
You leave tomorrow at dawn. And you come right back. No sightseeing, no sidetracks.
Lord, make me a channel of thy peace. Where there are shadows, I may bring light. Where there is discord, harmony.
This is why we don't go on wild goose chase supply runs. so people don't die for
It
nothing.
wasn't for nothing. Just relax.
My job is to keep people safe, and I decide how that's done.
Where there is sadness, I may bring joy. Lord, grant that I seek to understand.
His brain is still working. They're learning.
It is by dying
Mom?
that one awakens to eternal life.
Jo, who is a survivor from the apocalypse, she managed to make her way to a military base that is also a refugee camp. 5 years later, they're completely isolated and they're starved for supplies. But Zoe believes she has found a cure to the zombie disease. That's pretty much the plot. Angels, what do you think of the movie?
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a negative Nancy over here, but I watched this movie when it was released on Netflix about 6 months ago, and back then I thought it sucked. Today, I thought it sucked. I'm a big fan of Romero, I am, but the last movies they have put out are bad. They should have stopped after. Joseph, help me out. What is?
Land.
No, I think it's the one before that.
Day.
Yeah.
It's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survivor.
Yeah.
Survival of the Dead, or Survivor, I can't remember.
They should have stopped do not make Land of the Dead. Movies after that is just like shit. But that's just my opinion. And the whole thing with this zombie dude. No. Just no. I'm a big zombie fan. I think the first horror movie I watched, that I actually watched all the way through, was a zombie movie or something.
No.
Wasn't it?
No.
The fuck, then what was it?
The Evil
Mr.
Dead.
Know-It-All.
Well, I'm your older brother, you know.
Yeah, Know-It-All.
And when I was 9 years old, you watched The Evil Dead together with me and our mom.
Yeah, but, I was, newly born. That doesn't count. But I remember watching a lot of zombie movies growing up. I actually remember watching, I believe it is Dawn of the Dead, on Channel 4 growing up. And Josef were like, you're not allowed to watch this movie, and I watched it anyways. So yeah, I'm a big zombie fan and everything. So the thing they did with this zombie, for me, is leaving the actual idea of a zombie and just shitting of everything on it. Let's see. What do you think, Tagger?
Not really sure what I thought. I skimmed through the movie about 5 minutes before we started. like I said before, I remember seeing the two army guys in the bunker. One of them was basically being a dick, talking about what's taking so long, in the rudest manner ever, and then turning around and telling this one lady who was sitting down to get her boyfriend to come fix the fucking stove. And the cook was really nice, even though he was being berated and talked down to. He was really nice. I think I also ended up seeing a little bit towards the end where maybe it was closer to the middle. They were working on a vaccine. One of the army men was trying to kill a zombie, and then I think it was a nurse talking about, don't kill it. We can use it to try and make some kind of vaccine to see if it'll work.
Yeah, that was probably
Which I'm just
the main character and the zombie I was talking about.
I'm just gonna assume that the vaccine didn't work. But I think that's really all I can recall from me skimming the movie.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I liked it. I didn't understand much, but I think I liked it. What about you, Josef? What did you think of it?
well,
Well, what?
well.
Oh,
On one hand, I thought it was okay, but on the other, I thought it was shit.
did you get a good enough sniff to make sure it was shit and just not like your hand being dirty?
For starters, the main character, Zoe, just irritated me through most of the movie. Because you're supposed to root for her, but she doesn't give a shit about anyone else
Yeah.
than herself, basically, and her experiments on in the search of a vaccine. She doesn't care if anyone dies or so on. And okay, I'm gonna do a retake. This went to shit. On one hand, I think it was okay, but on the other hand, I thought it was shit. Because in the original movie, you can really feel the claustrophobia. Like, this group of survivors are stuck underground in an underground bunker with thousands of zombies trying to get in, and you can feel the tension in the group, like the scene when Sarah confronts Captain Rhodes in the mess hall, and he picks up the gun and aims at her and tells her that he will shoot her if she doesn't sit down. It's because of scenes like that in the original movie. They made the movie into such a tension-filled, claustrophobic experience, and the whole movie is so dark, and you root for the good guys in that movie. Like, you don't want to see them die. In this movie, couldn't give two shits about if someone died or not. And most of the people who dies in this movie is unnamed characters as well. So why would I care? And Sophie Skelton, the girl who plays Zoe, the main character, just irritated me through most of the movie, because you're supposed to root for her because she's the leading lady of the movie, but at the same time she just makes totally brain dead decisions over and over and over again, and these decisions jeopardizes other people's lives, and she doesn't give a shit about it as long as she can do her experiments in the search of a vaccine, which in the end results in a lot of people dying. I like that they at least tried to pay homage to the original, though with the characters that are sort of like the characters in the original 1985 movie. Like Miguel is supposed to be this movie's Captain Rhodes, and Max is supposed to be this movie's Bub, and Zoe is supposed to be this movie's Sarah. But on the other hand, I prefer the original characters over this. Let's see. The love subplot between Zoe and Baka, which it must be one of the most stupid names I've ever heard in a movie. I felt it like it was very forced into the script just to make things spiral out of control at the end of the movie, and I would have wanted to see something else than this forced love subplot.
Can I just point something in here when you say Baka? Zombie actually told me he's into anime and whatever. Baka, the way they spell it, if you change, I believe, the K to a C, or if it's a C to a K, you actually say idiot in Japanese.
Yeah, it's Baka, Baka. That's idiot in Japanese, I think.
Yeah, it's idiot Japanese or something like that. I thought it was kind of funny.
It's Japanese.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, that was my tuppence for now. Ogge?
Well, I wouldn't want to recommend it to anybody. Like, it did, however, keep me entertained for most of the movie, but I didn't really like the plot. Like, there was nothing of that claustrophobia or tension whatsoever in the movie.
Yeah.
And pretty much every character just annoyed me. Especially Zoe. Like, they were in that hospital, and they had the medicine, everything they came for, and as they were running out, she just ran away.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even say anything, and that ended up getting one of them killed, of course.
If it weren't for her running away on a side quest or whatever, the events that was triggered by that wouldn't happened. You know.
Yeah.
So basically, it's her fault that everyone dies in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. And she like blames everybody but herself for it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't do anything. Nope. No, it's your fault.
It's worth the risk.
Yeah. And I'm not sure I didn't like. I feel like they could have come up with anything but that super-powered ex-boyfriend zombie.
He wasn't her boyfriend. He was her ex-stalker.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah, well, still. And like they didn't even explain like why he was special. Was it just because he
No,
was a
they
stalker?
actually do.
They do.
In the beginning, where they are at the hospital and she's a medical student, and the teacher comes and says, "Hey, this guy is here," and she's like, "Can someone else do it?" And they explain there that he has a very specific type of blood that is very needed to be reserved. Now I don't remember the specific reason or something, but it is a rare blood type. So they state it about 5-7 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
But it's so brief that you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have mentioned it later on in the movie as well.
Well, yeah, I had no idea about that when I was watching the movie. I was like, why is he special and why does he have zombie superpowers? And why is he the only smart zombie? So, well, yeah, overall, I still think it's a bad movie, even though, like, it had good pacing, but still, there's just too many plot holes and not very good characters. And so...
There isn't anyone who you can root for in this movie. Everyone's an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I would say like everyone is a very empty character.
Yeah.
There's no one you get like, oh, this guy or this girl is so much better than the rest of them because she or he has this character process things, whatever. And like as you said, like Zoe, she fucks everyone over all the time. She makes dumb choices, big mistakes. She legit is. I think she's the biggest cause to why people die in the movie. Like,
she is basically the reason why everyone dies in this movie.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to root for her.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't see myself rooting for a character like that.
Then the chief guy, Dick McDickinson, that I've named him in my notes. He's a dick to everyone. After like in the movie, when I was watching it, I was like, he's a fucking dick. He's mean to everyone. He's an asshole. But now talking about it, I can see a lot of points that he's right on. I still think he's a dick. Then his brother, the idiot, that's a forced love story that's not needed. I think, as Tiger says, we should have rooted for the meal guy.
Yeah.
Like a very small side character, just like, let's root for this guy.
I actually rooted for the zombies.
Or that.
Well,
Yeah.
Angel isn't wrong on or about that, because he's basically the only guy in the entire movie who is nice.
Yeah.
Everyone else are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And the leading, what did you call him, Mr.
Mr. Dick McDickinson.
Yeah, that's Miguel, and his brother is Baca, and Baca is thinking with his wiener, which also gets people killed.
Yeah. And
He doesn't look at all like a soldier.
No.
He looks like what was it called? The Avengers guy. Oh, what's it called? Baka or something. Fuck is it called? Yeah, I think Baka. Whatever. He.
I thought it looked like a reality show star.
Yeah, like something from Big Brother or
Yeah.
Mix on the Beach and whatever.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate Big Brother contester.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm just here because I'm hot. It's like, really. And they state the relationship between Zoe and whoever it is in the beginning very clearly. And that also feels very forced. And
Between Zoe and Max, or
no, not him. She's out jogging, standing by the fence, and some guy shoots a zombie, like right next to her.
yeah, I think that was Miguel.
Yeah, and that kind of already there forces a relationship between them.
Well, I guess they had that in there just because they want to show the tension between the two characters. Like there's a tension between Zoe and Miguel through the entire movie.
Yeah, but again, it feels very, very forced. And I think lots of the things that happens in the movie are just filling out. Yeah. Grabbing my notes. I'm just pointing this out because it's so funny. So I was watching it with Zombie that I usually watch movies with, and in the beginning of the movie, when we're on the street, we follow some newscaster, and she walks along this, like in the middle of the street. Who the fuck walks that slowly in a zombie apocalypse? First of all.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that as well. I was like, run!
And
Save
this
yourself,
thing
for fuck's sake.
Zombie comes up with, I thought it was hilarious, but it might not be hilarious now. Who the fuck rides their bike casually through an apocalypse like that?
Yeah.
Some girl rides the bike and gets grabbed through the window. It's just, what?
I actually thought that was pretty hilarious. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I didn't think too much of it until Zombie just bursted that out, and I'm like, I laughed so much that I started crying, like, what? So I had to rewatch it a few times because it was so funny. It's just like, you see the living dead walking around killing people, you run. You don't just, like, casually take your bike for a bike ride. And like, it's such a short part, but I thought it was hilarious too, where Zoe comes in to this party thing, even, and starts screaming, and she's not believable. It kind of like, oh, I have to do this, not living herself into the actual character, screaming hysterically and whatever. And shortly after that, the fat guy that they were talking about earlier comes running. It's such a short sequence that I don't think you would remember it, but I thought it was hilarious the way he looks. It's just, I don't know. I had to replay that too a few times because it was hilarious. And a big hole in the whole movie, in my opinion, is my last and second note. So the not the food guys. The girlfriend to the guy who's supposed to fix the oven.
Yeah.
She opens the air vent with smeared blood on it that like has dripping down on her and whatever. I'm just like, no one is that stupid. You don't open it up. You go fetch someone. You go fetch a military guy or 2 or 3. You don't open it on your own. It's just... That's really is like, oh, here, let's have a brain-dead death.
Something I was thinking about with that character was that she got killed by Max, and she returns later on in the movie. Didn't anyone go down there for like a day or something? Like there's a big hole between that she gets killed and she returns.
That's true, like, someone would have gone looking for her, so she
Yeah.
was looking for her boyfriend to fix the oven.
Yeah, exactly. So someone should have noticed that she was gone and go look for her. But it was like, she's gone, fuck her.
Yeah, but doesn't she get killed? Because that was I remember from it. And then, if she now gets killed, why the hell bring a dead character back? Like, where you're that short on actresses.
Well, Max was a zombie, you know.
Yeah, but didn't he kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you say she gets brought back
Yeah.
later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually when someone dies in a zombie movie, they come back as a zombie.
Oh, I thought you meant that she was alive when she came back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
No.
like I'm saying. Are you stupid?
You know the scene when the little girl walks out into the corridors, and she comes upon a zombie. That's the same character that Max dragged away earlier in the movie.
Okay.
So my question is, what the hell happened between that she got killed and she returns as a zombie?
Well,
It was basically like no one cared that she was gone.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, fuck her.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple of things.
Okay.
First off, I think I'm gonna butcher his name, but Jonathan Shaik, I think. God bless. Is I think he was brilliant as Max, to be honest. It was a real creep at the beginning of the movie, and he was just a creep even in death. And I actually thought he did a pretty decent job as this movie's bub.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the characters calling the zombies for rotters?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just say zombies, god damn it.
or the Walking Dead or Undead or whatever.
Yeah.
It actually pisses me off seeing lots and lots of zombie movies and series where they don't call them zombies. It's like they live in a different universe. What the fuck?
What the hell was that?
My cat.
Oh,
It sounded like someone were like whipping what's it called, pancake mix together. Okay, anyways, like The Walking Dead, they don't call them zombies. The newer zombie movies, they don't call them zombies. Biters,
walkers.
walkers, rotters. Just say zombies. It's been zombies. It's always gonna be zombies. Fuck you. See, I feel
okay.
very, very strongly about zombies. So yes.
Got some hard feelings right here.
Yes.
And before Angel announces she's in love with a zombie.
Isn't there a
Well, I
movie-
kinda am. But
Isn't there a movie called My Boyfriend is a Zombie? I think
I
it is.
believe
I
so.
think there is.
And
Bodies,
warm
maybe?
bodies, they actually have two types of zombies. The zombies can get turned back to human by love.
What?
Yeah! I actually went to the movies watching that shit, and they're like, oh, if we only care enough for them and give them love, they're gonna turn back to humans.
Really?
That's the gayest shit
I'm
I've ever
serious.
heard.
Yeah.
It's a Twilight Saga, but with
But with
zombies
zombie.
instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You wouldn't like it.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I didn't like the Rollers nickname or whatever you want to call them. Want to call it for the zombies. I thought it was just ridiculous as well. Let's see, I'm checking my notes here. The best quote in the entire movie has to be, "I miss people shutting the fuck up."
I do agree on that one.
It's in the scene when they're in the car and they start to talk about food.
No, things they miss, not just food.
Yeah, exactly. And the last guy says, "I miss people shutting the fuck up." That actually made me laugh out loud.
But the thing is, that's you if zombies would come around.
That I miss people shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
I miss that now. Next thing I got, and this is a question. How the fuck did no one see Max enter the bunker?
He was under the car.
Well, he ran through the whatever the fuck it's called, the front doors.
He's
The
just
zombie
that
movie.
fast.
Yeah, he...
A ninja stalker zombie.
Yeah. Everyone
Which-
went blind for 5 seconds.
Yeah, which he technically isn't a zombie because he was alive. So a
Well, he-
superpowered stalker ninja non-zombie.
That was a tongue twister.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just slightly rotten.
Yeah. I got a couple of more things here. The final zombie attack on the bunker is action-packed. But at the same time, I thought it was pretty boring and not very exciting. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, it could have been done way better. It looked like it looked like only half of the soldiers were actually taking part in it, and like the survivors weren't helping at all.
Yeah.
They were just sitting there.
What part?
The final zombie attack on the bunker when Max opened the doors.
I totally pushed that out of my mind. That was how interested I was.
Okay. What do you think about the death of Miguel? His death scene.
Fuck yeah. Mr.
Fuck yeah.
Dicking's son got what he deserved.
Okay.
It was okay. That's basically all I felt. It reminded me a bit of. It reminded me a bit of the original. When when the commander got killed.
Yeah. Captain Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly. It looked. I think he got killed in pretty much the same way.
I thought the death of Miguel wasn't even close to Rhodes' death in the original movie. Because Rhodes in the original movie gets torn apart in the middle.
Yeah.
And his death scene is very memorable.
Yeah, that kind of describes this movie pretty well. Like everything in the original that was memorable is like meh in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the death of Miguel isn't even close to Rhodes' death in the original movie. I think they tried to do a homage to that death scene, but yeah. I got two more things to talk about.
Okay.
The final confrontation between Max and Zoe were really anticlimax, and it just made me sigh the first time I saw the movie. I saw this movie 2 times for the podcast. What do you think about it, Ogge?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Angel?
What was the question?
What did you think about the final confrontation between Max and Zoe?
You mean where he legitimately tries to, that is, tries to kill her? Or...
Well...
Okay,
Whoa.
recalling parts of the movie where he's still chained to the wall, and she goes to tell the idiot about the cure or whatever. Then when she comes back, he's loose. He has taken a child as hostage and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really root for any one of them, since he was a stalker, sleaze, whatever,
Wow.
and she legitimately fucked everyone over. I didn't care much for any one of them. I would love to see a bullet in both's head. But yeah, I didn't think too much of it. Tiger, did you see the final whatever it was called?
I don't think I did.
She
Okay.
jumps out of nowhere and kills him.
Yeah. He says something like, "You are mine," and then she answers with, "No, you are mine, motherfucker," and kills him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like the end part, she starts to somewhat be able to talk. Also dropping the whole zombie part.
Okay, the last thing I got to discuss is the conclusion of the whole movie. And the conclusion of the movie. What do you guys think about it? Okay.
I don't know. They usually don't find a cure in zombie movies, so it felt that. Besides, the cure is pretty useless since it only affects if you get a bite. And well, you're not really supposed to get bitten by them. And they usually just gang up on you and kill you anyway, so it's not a very effective antidote.
Well, it wasn't an antidote; it was a vaccine.
Yeah.
So if you got bitten, it wouldn't be a death sentence.
Yeah, it's not like I think the humanity is gonna survive because of it. Like, I don't think in the long run it's gonna make much difference, to be honest.
Yeah, no, like it's all based on if you're lucky enough to survive a zombie attack, and in 9 out of 10 cases you don't.
Yeah. What do you think about the ending, Angel?
Well, kind of unusual, I guess, because it's not often that they are that many survivors. It usually ends up with being like 2-3 of them, or if they are surviving. But since I wasn't rooting for anyone and I didn't care about the movie, the ending kind of sucks because I wanted to see everyone dead. Well, yeah, I'm kind of like, die, everyone die! No, but I would rather have seen everyone die than getting a vaccine that is not even really gonna help anyone. Unless you survive a zombie attack, which is most unlikely. What did you think?
I thought the happy end theme, the ending were total garbage. I mean, like I said earlier, the original 1985 movie got a very, very dark ending. Well, this movie goes with the living happily ever after type of deal.
Yeah, kind of Disney theme.
Yeah, which is bullshit. It should have been a lot darker than it turned out to be. So yeah, I didn't care for the ending. And that was the last thing I had to discuss.
Do we have any background or trivia for it?
Yeah, I got some, but do you have any notes about the movie? Okay.
No, I don't have anything else about it actually.
Yeah, okay. You already spilled all of your guts.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I got some background. I tried to search around for this movie a little bit and tried to find, well, some information about the movie. And even though it's pretty new, it was pretty hard to come by any information about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe it was released this spring or
5th of January this year.
Yeah, so late winter.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie was shot in Bulgaria with a budget of $8 million. The movie was produced by Krista Campbell, Avi Lerner, and Lati Grobman, who produced Texas Chainsaw 3D from 2013 and Leatherface from 2017 as well. The movie was also produced by Boaz Davidson, who produced Leatherface from 2017 as well. Krista Campbell played Mrs. Leitner in Steve Miner's 2008 remake of Day of the Dead. So this is the second remake of that movie. And I found a quote from Krista Campbell, who stated, we want to keep it as close to the Romero version as possible to make sure that his fans are happy. These are not going to be zombies climbing walls and doing backflips like in World War Z. Do we think that they succeeded with that?
No. They had a superpower ninja stalker zombie.
I'm gonna go with fuck no and what Ogge said.
Okay. And well, I think I have to agree with you guys. And the last thing I have is that Jonathan Schaik, or whatever,
Rip his last name.
yeah, or however you pronounce that, has been in the Prom Night remake from 2008, Laid to Rest, and Chrome Skull Laid to Rest 2. All three of them are slasher movies. And that's basically everything I got.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that this was a remake. I thought it was just a follow-up on the other movies, like everything has been... since it had a different name. Because, I mean, the movie was Day of the Dead that he remade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Day of the Dead... when was the first remake released? 90s something, right?
Nope.
2004.
Nope.
Then you spill the guts, Jesus Christ.
The first remake of Day of the Dead is from 2008.
Okay,
the remake from 1990 is the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Right, that's how it, yeah.
The remake from 2004 is the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no.
And but there's been like 15 different remakes for Night of the Living Dead for some reason.
Yeah.
And most of them are shit. Does anyone else have any background?
No, I don't have
please.
anything.
There you go.
Nope.
Well, I guess that about sums up the movie then.
Yeah.
Piece of fucking shit.
Damn right.
Do we have a next pick?
Yeah, so my pick is the next one, episode 8, and we're gonna review Martyrs from 2008. I had a really hard time picking my first movie because I wanted to start off with something good.
And this is, and you mean this is shit then, or?
No, it's like I've been looking back and forth on movies. I think I had 4 movies when I was starting to like, okay, I need to decide. Then this fucker pops up and I'm like, fuck yes. I remember watching it the first time and whoa.
But it's the French version, right?
Yeah, we're gonna watch the French one. Martyrs from 2008 is the French, and then they had Martyrs from 2016, a remake no, wait, not 16. 15. That's an American remake.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna watch the original one much rather. I haven't heard anything about the remake, but you know.
I've heard that the remake is shit.
Yeah, most likely is, but yeah, it's my first pick. So that's about it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, I guess it's time to say goodbye.
I guess it is.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, well, goodbye, good people.
Goodbye.
What good people?
Just say goodbye.